you just said, if you're just out there picking up, streetwalkers and stragglers and whatever, okay, then you don't need this. That's the easy way out. But look, if you guys want long-term success, if you guys want to be able to duplicate this and actually feel good about what you're doing, then guess what? It's going to be very important for you to understand the dynamics. Because there's a lot of things which are common sense. But guess what? One, common sense is not as common as we think it is. And two, there's a lot of things which aren't common sense either, especially when dealing with women. Guys, when dealing with women and girls, look, this is just not as clear cut as you think it is. So we're here to help you guys understand what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, and in which areas and in which dynamics.
Exactly. And, the reason why dynamics are important is because, like you just said, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. And you're going to see guys who, okay, let's say you're not good looking. Okay, great. Most guys are not like, the best looking or anything.
You're not Leonardo DiCaprio, bro. Like your broad's not gonna be looking at you like Jeff Bezos' broad look.
That's not gonna happen. The thing is, like, you for those guys, there's gonna be different markets, right? And different types of girls they could talk to, in different ways they could portray themselves, right? Like let's say you a short guy, right? 5'6", and you 5'6". What type of girls can you actually approach, right? A lot of guys are going to make the mistake and they're going to go approach like a girl that's 5'4", 5'3", thinking, oh, she's shorter than me. But the thing is, most likely she's looking for somebody taller to compensate for that. So if you're 5'6", you should be going up to girls that are like 5'6", 5'7", even slightly taller than you. And you could still see success. But a guy who's 5'6", who's short, he has to show swag, right? As far as the way he dresses, he has to show confidence, humor. And I've seen those guys pull, bro.
It's not
in college. I've seen those guys pull, man. Come on, man.
And you see a lot of guys let their weaknesses psych them out, right? You think, oh man, I'm too short, or I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not strong enough. I'm too skinny. Look. If you don't shoot your shot, you're never going to make it.
Nah, for sure.
If you don't shoot your shot, you're never going to make it. And listen, man, what you might think is a weakness, it's probably just going to be it's going to be something that someone else overlooks. A girl might overlook that. And it might even be a strength. And guys just don't apply themselves. If you just think, oh man, I'm short, so I'm just going to give up. Dude, that's not the right mindset for any dynamic.
I've seen guys way shorter than me, like smash, like baddies, bro. Baddies just off their game, their personality, bro. I'm not even exaggerating, man. In college, that's all I saw, bro.
And look, depending on the dynamic, I'll just be honest. Depending on the dynamic, if it's with a baddie, she might be more responsive. And there are certain dynamics where baddies are less responsive. So, for instance, on social media, baddies are probably going to be much less responsive. Whereas in a club, these baddies, if they're in the club in real life, they psych out a lot of guys. A lot of guys are, a little scared to approach.
Exactly. But
when you approach, she's going to receive well. She's going to take well to that.
We're definitely going to talk about the club too. That's going to be one of the main tenets in dynamics because first of all, if you want to see baddies, the club is going to be the number one place where you're going to see baddies all over, bro. Like in one spot, if you want to see baddies after baddies, like 10 baddies in one spot, you got to go to the club, bro.
Yeah, that's one dynamic right there. Honestly, you're going to find the prettiest women in nightlife. I don't know why, but I guess that's just the way it always is. The prettiest women, they're going to be in the nightlife. They're going to be either working at the club or they're going to be going to the club. And guess what? It makes sense because one, as ladies, they usually get in free or they get, bottle service or they'll get invited to a table because they're pretty. So guess what?
Exactly.
These girls are going to be there. And look, guys, if you just want to date regular looking girls, you can find them too.
You can find them. You can find them out there. You can find them on the streets.
Yeah, you can find them. Yeah.
Dude, if you want a baddie, bro, you're going to have to do some night game. Like, I know a lot of guys are not comfortable with night game because, They don't like the whole vibe. They don't like to drink. They don't like to spend money. That's the downside of night games, that you gotta pay to get in the club. You gotta get ready. You gotta do all that stuff. But if you really want to have access to like the baddest, hottest girls in your town, you gotta go to the club. You ain't gotta do it every weekend, but I would say
Yeah.
at least once or twice a month. But
Yeah. And one important thing about dating dynamics, there's two general types of dynamics. There's sexual uh, dynamics. When it comes to dating, there's two general dating types of dynamics. There's sexual marketplace dynamics, where if you're just looking to, have fun, you're just looking to smash, you're not looking for anything serious, fine. That's where you'll go. And then there's relationship dynamics. Guys, those are two different
right,
separate things. The nightclub would fall under the the sexual marketplace dynamic. We'll just say SMP from now. It'll fall under the SMP. Look, we're gonna talk about those, but those are two completely separate things which you guys cannot get mixed up. And far too often, guys get them mixed up. And guess what? You pay for it. You end up thinking with your little head. That's gonna stress out your big head later on.
Hey man. Yeah, for sure. The nightclub, man, really, like, so far we've seen all kinds of dynamics in the nightclub, right? Like the hip hop nightclub, you've seen the dynamic, all kinds of pretty girls in there. A lot of dudes in there are not really about that life. They're just coming in,
Yeah.
they're standing in a corner.
Yeah.
They're not really, talking to anybody. They're not making moves. That's an opportunity right there. That's an opportunity for you to show what you got, to show who you are. And I've had success, in that situation.
Yeah, and you see, guys, when you're in a social setting, the dynamic is going to require you to be social if you want to be successful.
Exactly.
Whether that that setting is for dating or it's for work, no matter what it is, you have to be social. And how do you demonstrate that? You can't just stand in one corner in the room. And that's what too many guys do, especially when guys go out at night. You go out, you find a little corner, you post your back to the wall, and then you just stand there, and then you're like, yeah, man, the night wasn't all that. If you weren't around the room, if you weren't going around the room, you weren't dancing, you, you weren't having a drink, you weren't chatting up anyone, listen, man, don't tell me that. I'm not going to buy that from you.
And yeah, like, quite frankly too, there's nothing wrong with like drinking, man. Like buying a drink. Like me, when I get in the club, bro, if I'm not comfortable, if I'm not on my game, I'm gonna get me like a drink or two. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna make me a lot like more sociable, and I'm gonna be able to approach, get some numbers, dance with some girls. And the thing is, your number one goal at night should be to close right there. It shouldn't be to get the number. Your number one goal should be, how can I smash this girl tonight? Right? Even though most likely it may not happen, but in the back of your mind, that should be the outcome.
Yeah.
Like, how can I get her to come back to my spot to smash right now?
And you know what? Here's where dynamics come into play. To be honest with you, a lot of these girls are what I call cappers, man. Especially when at night, dude, a lot of these girls will go out with their friends. If they're out with their friends, it's not impossible to smash, but it's really that much more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, though, the best way to be sure that you're going to close, the best surefire way to close, it's on online dating. When it comes to online dating, look, if a girl likes you, and you prove that you're not a moron, right? You can hold a decent conversation, because that happens a lot. A lot of guys, the girl will like them, she'll message them first, and then they just fumble the whole thing.
Yeah,
They
like,
fumble the bag. That I've done that before, right? Look, if you don't do that and you go through with it, she's gonna come through, and you guys can do your thing. But you guys have to understand the
I
dynamics.
definitely think that online dating should play a part. But it's still not gonna be for most guys, right? We're not talking about like top 10%, whatever. It's still not gonna be as fruitful for most guys.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I still believe that night game, day game, understanding dynamics when you go out is better than than online dating.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not a top 10 guy, no top 10% guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Right,
I'm
right,
like average
right.
at best, my G. So here's the thing, right? What you guys need to know is that once again, presentation is key. A lot of guys on their social media dating or their social media profiles or their online dating profiles, they're looking raggedy as hell. Look, guys are not, you're not putting your best foot forward. And when you don't put your best foot forward, you're not going to reap the benefits. Like you're going to pay for it indirectly. Look, just some nice pictures, right? Look, I would recommend guys to get some professional pictures for your social media and use those same pictures for your online dating profiles.
Exactly.
And you'll see how much success you were getting in the past and compare that to the success that you'll be getting after.
Absolutely. Like with online dating, it goes much faster, man. Like typically the girl will want to come over right away. Like she'll be calling you like, hey, can I come over or can I come over the next day? Like online dating goes much faster when you're successful with it. That's what I like about it. And I think it should definitely be on your, it should be a tool that you use as part of your dating, your dating strategy for sure.
Yeah.